Ketter at the Cabin presents B.O.C. with Ketter. Fly fishing, stories, connection. Now pour yourself a drink.
All right, welcome back to B.O.C. with Ketter. This is season 2, episode 4. We are working through season 2. I do have another special guest. I will stop yapping and hand it on over so he can introduce himself. Go ahead, man.
Hey guys, I'm Gavin Bauer, the owner of Driftless Wader Repair. It's an honor to be here with you, Brandon, and yeah, I'm excited to get going into our conversation.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Gavin and I just kind of connected over Instagram and have been chatting ever since. And we've been excited to start chatting, especially about this topic, because if you're a fly fisherman, fly angler, you have stories about waders. So this will be a great one.
Exactly.
Awesome,
Yep.
man. I do always kick off with a little beverage. You got a little beverage today?
Yeah, I got some of my fiance's grandma's chai tea homemade mix.
Dude, homemade chai tea, huh?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
Hey,
I'm working with the little Liney's Dark Lager. I figured after doing a little fishing today, I just needed something a
yeah, you
little
deserve one.
cold. Yeah, exactly.
I
Cheers,
do want
man.
to say,
Cheers.
guys, I have a 9-week-old lab here, and he is not very trained, so you might hear some barking, but he's not getting harmed by any means. He's in good hands, and he's just a little active when it comes to the vocal cords.
I love that. No animals are harmed in the making of this
Nope.
podcast. We want to make that clear.
Yep. He's just getting crate trained, so
That's awesome. Oh, dude, I
gotta
have
gotta like it. Yep.
you gotta love it. I have a almost 2-year-old black lab, and they are the best darn things in the world. I love them so much.
Yep. You know how it goes then.
Exactly. Awesome, man. So we'll kick it off. How long have you been fishing in the Driftless area?
So actually, I've been fishing in the Driftless area and kind of walking around streams and trout fishing and shed hunting for a long time. Since I could, fish. My dad took me to Whitewater State Park back when I was a pup, and I kind of fell in love with it since then. So been fishing down here, and I actually work down in Lanesboro, Minnesota, full time. So I live in the Driftless region, so it's basically a part of me just as much as I'm a part of it. So
Dude, that's incredible. That's awesome.
yep,
Whitewater is a great state park. I feel like a lot of people kind of get their first introduction to like the Driftless in Whitewater. It was definitely one of the first
exactly.
places I went. I was like, oh,
Yep,
this is pretty neat down here.
it
And it's
really is.
just a beautiful place. So I ask everyone this who's got, roots in the Driftless. You've kind of already answered this, but what does the Driftless mean to you?
So honestly, the Driftless is kind of a place where wild fish and public access still exists that kind of makes it, feel like an authentic wild, I don't know. There's something about it, like just seeing the Driftless changing the seasons. It's just absolutely beautiful. And yeah, there's endless miles of streams that you can explore. And I mean, if you're willing to hike and explore, you can find that special water that, not many people get to. So I absolutely love it. Little fun fact, I kind of like to think of the Driftless as like its own little state. It's about the size, if you were to put it into perspective, of West Virginia. So it's kind of eye-opening when you think about it that way. It's kind of our own little community of, conservationists and sportsmen and
Dude,
women.
that's awesome. I never thought about it like that. That comparison to West Virginia. That's
Yeah.
really cool. Thank you for that. That's
Yeah,
super neat.
there's around 24,000 square miles of like area in the Driftless region, and there's 53 counties, and there's around 3,595 designated trout streams. Just for some fun facts there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a deep dive. That's insane. Like you said, you couldn't do it all in a lifetime. It's
No.
physically impossible. Like there's no
And
way.
honestly, we got to give a thanks to the farmers, because there's almost 50,000 farms in the Driftless region
hmm
too, and without them, we wouldn't have all this public access easement and place to go fishing. So gotta thank the farmers too, because
We
they're
do.
they're a big part of it.
You're not wrong. I always think about that. Like if I ever was fortunate enough to own land down there, like would I open up an easement? And I'm always like, I feel like that's pretty tough. But like when I think about it, like yeah, I absolutely would if I could, because like
Honestly,
you want
right?
people to enjoy it. And at the end of the day, as long as everyone's respecting the water, respecting nature,
Mhm.
respecting the fish, like that's what it's all
Yep.
about.
I'm a big fan of state land, public land, protecting the land. I mean, it's your land, it's my land, it's our land. And
Exactly.
if I see even a Tootsie Roll wrapper, I'm gonna pick it up, you know?
Dude, same, absolutely. Especially this time of the year, well, coming up here in about another couple weeks when
Right,
everything's melting, dude.
right.
It is gross everywhere, and it's like, yeah, just bring a bag with you here and there and pick up some. I
Mhm.
picked up a little bit today, and I was like, oh yeah, there's trash out here already.
Exactly. It feels good, you know, you're passing on the deed and, you know, maybe that karma will get you a 30-inch brown one of these days. You never
It
know.
might. You never know. If that's the case, I'll probably hang it up. Just kidding. That would be
Hang it on the
incredible.
wall is what you mean, right?
Yeah, exactly. Get a nice
Replica, of course,
replica. Oh,
replica.
dude, absolutely. I want
Yeah.
to get a replica bad. I'm thinking about this last summer. I caught my biggest brook trout. I mean, it was almost 15 inches, and in the driftless, as you know,
Wow,
that's pushing. So I was like,
that's
I
awesome.
might get a replica. I got a couple
Yeah,
measurements and stuff. I was like, I might
cool.
do it. I need to talk to the right people and see if they're able to do
Right.
it, but we'll see.
Was it a colored up male at all, or was it a
It
female?
it was a female, so it
Okay.
wasn't, as
Yep.
colored up, but still
Still
an absolutely
beautiful.
gorgeous fish. Yeah.
Yes.
And it was when was it? It was like middle dead summer, so the colors weren't,
Yeah,
great, but oh dude,
exactly.
I've been hunting one of those my entire fly fishing life. I
Mm,
dang near cried when I caught that in just a
that's awesome.
2-foot creek.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I was fired up.
Was it,
Awesome.
if you don't mind me asking, which state in the Driftless was that?
Yeah, absolutely. That was in Minnesota, which is even kind of weirder because like
Yep.
I fish a lot of Wisconsin, man, and I am
Yeah.
from Minnesota, so like just having that like tie to Minnesota was really cool. I'd never expected it to come out of a Minnesota stream, I will say that.
Like, yeah, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So awesome. And so Gavin, what is driftless wader repair?
So Driftless Wader Repair, I guess we'll throw it way back. I've always kind of been a like side hustle kind of guy. If it's like fixing dirt bikes and selling them, or if it's buying boats and cleaning them up and making them better and selling them for more, I've always kind of been that kind of guy. So I started working in fisheries for the state of Minnesota about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, and everyone I work with has waders, and everyone I work with wrecks their waders. And my friends and I have a couple pairs of high brand name waders. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus or anything, but they're nice, expensive waders, and when you put a hole in one of them pairs, it sets you back in your wallet and your fishing and your work. It's like it's something you don't want to deal with. So Driftless Wader Repair is a service that I kind of, I didn't invent fixing waders by any means, but I kind of started a little business where I focus on keeping anglers on the water and fixing their waders when they have a hole instead of throwing them away. And it's kind of, I'm all about sustainability and not wasting products. Like nice waders is another one of them deals where it's like, let's fix them up and save some money, save some time, save some effort.
Dude, yeah,
Mhm.
that's awesome.
Yes.
I mean, everyone breaks waders, and like you said,
Right.
it's either sure some brands are better than others, and some just aren't. I mean, I've had my $40 pair of waders, and
Exactly.
sometimes
Me
those
too.
last
They
me
work
2 years.
great.
Yeah, it's like holy cow, like, and then you have your 500 to $1,000 pairs of waders, and yeah, if they rip, man, there's nothing worse than getting, especially if you do a lot of like year-round fishing. If you're doing fall,
100%.
winter time when it's open, again, like if you have a leak, you're not fishing. Steelhead fishing, you're not
Right.
going out if you got a leak in your
No.
waders. Like it's
All of
impossible.
that, all the wild parsnip, and it's
Oh,
just you got
dude,
to
we'll
be
get into
watching the
that.
screen.
Yes.
But yeah, that's another thing. Like, um, I've had a few pairs of waders where raspberry bushes get the best of you, and I don't want to throw them things away, so I figured start fixing them up, and that's kind of how the Driftless Wader Repair came about. And actually, it's really surprising how many people have messaged me and were like, "Oh gosh, I wish I would have seen this a month ago. I just threw my waders away." I'm like,
I think I hit you up saying that. Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
dude, that's just
that's
it.
yeah.
Exactly. Awesome. So, I mean, without giving out, any like secrets or anything, but like, how did you start to find like the right tools and the right things that you needed to help, fix these waders?
So honestly, every repair is a little bit different, and I'm gonna Aqua Seal is your best friend. Honestly, that does go a long ways when fixing waders, but that's not gonna fix every pair. If you have a little pinhole or something, you can put it
Mhm.
on there. But seam leaks and all that kind of stuff, I have this secret tool that I use that I can actually inflate and see where the leak is coming from, and then I
Sure.
go diagnose which how I want to fix it. If it's sewing or if it's sealing them up or if it's,
Nice.
sometimes they use patches.
Hmm.
It's like I said, I'm not reinventing the wheel by any means. It's just some people want to send it out and get them back and get on the water quick, and that's why I'm here. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
mhm.
You get behind a sewing machine too and everything. You're able to do that too, huh?
Yeah,
Dude,
I
that's
taught
awesome.
myself how to sew. Yeah.
That's unreal. I
Yep.
want to learn because like home ec back in the day, like I took sewing we had to, and I was like
Right. Me
I haven't
too.
done it since, and it's like I feel like I
Mhm.
could benefit from learning that.
Yep. No,
That's
honestly,
unreal.
like YouTube and TikTok and Instagram, they're all your best friend when it comes
They
to
really are.
DIY learning and all
Yeah.
that. So, yeah.
It, that's unreal. That's awesome. So you kind of touched on this, but in your eyes, what makes the driftless like different from other areas when it comes to beating up on waders?
hmm So I guess, there's like we were talking about, there's miles and miles of trout stream through pastures and fields, and you're bound to walk into some barbed wire at some point. Even if it's just random little piece that's on the trail that there isn't even a fence line. There's barbed wire everywhere in the driftless. And I think that is safe to say either barbed wire or like beaver sticks, like when they
Yeah.
chew up the willows and whatnot, that will put a hole right through your boot, your waders, it doesn't
Or your
matter.
body.
Right, exactly. If you fell on one of them, whoo!
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep,
that'll hurt you. I always get nervous about there where I was today. There is a lot of beaver activity, and like I see those, I'm like, that's literally a spear waiting for someone if you're not paying attention.
right. And honestly, I ripped my nicest pair of waders on raspberry bushes this summer,
Hmm,
so, like, the thorns
yeah.
went right through my knee, and I had, like, a line that just with a bunch of pinholes.
Oh my gosh. Dang. And you
Mhm.
were able to fix them up?
Yep,
Dang right you were.
yep,
That's awesome, man.
of
Oh, that's
course.
so cool. Yeah. So in your eyes, like what do you think is the most common failure in waders? Is it user error or is it just like wear and tear?
Honestly, I think it's a mixture of both, and I think it's about kind of finding the hole or the issue early instead of just, you have a little hole and dealing with it and you get a wet knee every time. It's just going to keep getting worse, and soon you're going to have a tear the size of a finger. So I think it's catching it early, and you got to just, you got to know that the small problems turn into big ones is what it comes down to. So finding it early, getting it repaired up, and, you could fix your waders way faster and not have that big, sometimes it's an eyesore too if you have a
Yeah.
big rip in your nice Sims waders. It's like you gotta get that fixed up. But I think it's just, yeah, like I said, you know, dry them out completely. Taking that extra look when you're walking down the easement, just make sure you're not stepping on things. I know we all get excited, but also it helps you with catching more trout too, because when you're hustling up the bank, you're scaring all the fish away. So just taking that extra step and being a little more cautious, I think, goes a long ways for wader care and fishing.
I
hmm
agree. I agree. This may be more of like a personal question for me because I've always struggled with this concept, like that after fishing, what you should do with your waders. I've read 100 different things and I've left them out in the sun. I know that's terrible, but now that I got some,
Horrible.
new ones, it's like, okay, I want to make sure I'm taking proper care of these. Is it really about drying and just getting them in a good space after?
Honestly, the worst thing you can do is leave them wet and bunched up in the back of your car. I think if you get home, take them out and just hang them up in your garage. They're gonna last just as long as the next pair. Like, so some of your neoprene waders, I've learned that, like, the neoprene actually goes bad in around 3 to 5 years. I fixed or tried to fix a couple pairs of them neoprene waders where they're at that 4 to 5 year mark, and they're leaking everywhere. It's almost like you just gotta get new waders at that point. But so sometimes they do go bad from old age, and I can't fix every single pair, but, you know, making sure they're drying out and hanging up. If you got like I like to tie like slip knots kinda.
Hmm.
I have a bunch of slip knots in my garage. I just put my boots right in them, and then they hang upside down, then the sweat drips out. They stay nice and straight,
Okay.
and they can dry off nice, and I think that works out really well.
That's a great tip. I'm going to
Mhm.
take that tip from you. Yeah.
Yep.
Especially with the boots too, man. Cause
Right.
like oof, they can get so stinky all summer. You're
Yep,
just grinding in them, and
yep.
oof, yeah, that's
Well,
a
yeah,
good point.
doing that and just, you can use, like, paracord or whatever and just do a little slip knot, and that works great.
That's
Probably,
awesome.
like, a foot and a half apart. Yeah.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty neat. Do you think too, a lot of times, and this is probably just like a me thing, I don't know if a lot of anglers do this, but I tend to get all my gear on, my waders on, and then get in my vehicle and drive. Do you think that can cause some issues in waders, or do you think that's just
Um,
kind of a personal preference?
Honestly, I don't really do that ever, but I see what you
Mhm.
mean. It makes perfect sense. And this time of year, it's not as bad as in the summer when you
Yeah.
get really hot in your waders.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah,
But
disgusting.
I mean, if you're just sitting in your seat and like you watch where you put your seatbelt in, I think
Mhm.
you'd be perfectly fine if your waders fit you correctly and you're not stretching them out too much or anything.
Okay, cool, cool. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's good to know. Yeah, there's times where it's like today I didn't because I went straight from work. I was like, okay, I'll get ready out the river, but a lot of times I get ready at home because then it's like, all
For
right, we're
sure.
in, we're ready to go. There's no
Yep.
turning back now. It's
Exactly. Yep.
kind of one of those things I just hold myself accountable. But it's like I was thinking to myself a couple days ago, I was like, I wonder if I'm putting some extra wear and tear on my waders by doing that. So that's good
You
to know.
could be. Yeah. But
Yeah.
hey, I mean, if you're being cautious, I think you could do that all day long if you want.
Cool. Cool. Awesome. So we don't have to go too into brands if you don't want to, but is there certain brands that tend to hold up, better than others in your eyes?
Um, you know, I think some brands are built tougher than others, but even the best waders fail eventually. Like you could take a hook and put it through any pair of waders you want. So like it's a horse apiece, and I don't really have any favorite pairs of waders. I have PFG, Sims, Ducks Unlimited, Lacrosse. I got all kinds of different pairs of waders, and I love them all. I got Amazon,
Oh
Frog
yeah.
Togs. It's
Yeah,
just
dude.
they work. They are
They
all
work.
good. I have
Yeah.
no problem with any of them. It all comes down to your care and, what your issue is, honestly.
Exactly.
'Cause
Exactly.
you
Yeah.
could have a brand new pair of Sitka waders and step on a beaver log and it's gonna wreck them. So, I think that, honestly, it comes down to your fishing habits.
Exactly. And like I mean, like you said too, like it's not like, at the end of the day, like the money is the money. Like it does come down to a lot of
Yeah.
care. I do firmly believe that. I mean, my first pair of waders were I think they were $40 off of Amazon,
Mine too,
and I still
100%.
have them. Like I didn't let my
Yep.
buddies use them. Like I don't wear them because like I'm graduated and moved on. But like they don't have a rip. They don't have anything wrong with them. Just the fact that they're really bulky and kind of uncomfortable. But other than that, it's been 6 years. And I'm like, sure, this works.
Yep. That's
Yeah, and
good.
it is. Now I'm into Grundens now, and
Oh,
I
yeah,
am
that's
very
a good
happy.
grind too.
Yeah,
A bunch
very
of my
happy.
coworkers have those, and we electrofish all the time. They work great, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I bought them on Black Friday, so what's it been a couple months, and I've probably had them out about 10-ish times now, and yeah, I don't have a single complaint. They're very comfortable and they're very warm, so that's very helpful this time of the
That's
year.
awesome. I've
Yeah.
been actually kinda looking in to get a brand of those or a pair of those.
Yeah, you should. You should. I know. I think if you're coming up to the Great Waters Fly Fishing Expo,
Yep,
they'll be there. You should definitely check
yeah.
them out.
I got a free hat from them last year. They
Yeah,
had,
same,
like,
bro.
a hat hour happy hour or whatever.
Dude, yes, I was gonna wear that hat tonight. I have a black
You sh
one with their little
I know.
logo.
I got a green one with the yellow logo.
Yep, dude, that's sick. Yeah, they're great. They seem like they're all
Yep.
great people, and yeah, it's just a
Shout
fun
out
fun
Grundens,
goal.
let's go.
Yeah, shout out Grundens. We'll see them in 3 weeks? Not even two
Yep,
weeks. Yeah,
yep,
that's awesome, man. In the
mhm.
driftless, obviously, you've kind of talked about this too, but do you think like the spring creeks, the barbed wire fences, and the brush cause more damage than the actual rivers and like the water?
Honestly, I would say so, yeah. In my experience, like, if you're just wading through the stream, you're gonna have no issues at all, unless you, like, fall on some gravel or something, I think, but honestly, I think if you're just walking through the water, you're good. It's
Agreed.
climbing out of the stream, it's getting off the bridge, it's doing, going over the beaver dam, it's all of that.
Exactly, exactly. And yeah, like I probably fall more than the average person because I'll sometimes just you get excited, you see some trout rising, and you just lock in, and you kind of forget to like watch where your feet are going. And it's like, all right, you gotta watch where your feet are going because you fall, you catch a rock on the wrong side, and there you go, your waders are ripped
Yeah.
slash you're probably not feeling too good yourself.
100%.
Absolutely. So you've touched base on this too, which was really cool. Do you see like wader repair as part of a bigger conservation or like sustainability mindset in fly fishing?
Yeah, I honestly do. I think that's it's really important because like not everyone can just buy a new pair of waders. And I mean, if you can fix a pair of waders 1,000 times if you wanted to. It's just how, dedicated and how much you love that pair. And if you don't need to get a new size or anything, I think you could probably have one pair of I want to say breathable, not like the insulated neoprene, just because that
Mhm.
stuff kind of goes bad after a while. But if you have a good pair of breathable waders, you can make them last years, honestly. And a lot of people just throw them away after they think that, they're like, oh, there's a couple holes in it or a seam leaks, and they think they're done. No, that could be fixed easily.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
I
Absolutely.
think actually, sorry, go
No, go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. You go ahead.
Like, I honestly believe that, like, what most people think are junk waders they can easily be fixed,
Mhm.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. I have a couple buddies who've kind of coined this term wader haters. They hate everything about waders.
Really?
They don't want to wear them and it's like
Yep.
I get it. I get it. But do you think as we kind of progress in fly fishing, do you think waders will kind of like fade out or do you think they'll always be part of the culture?
Honestly, I could see that happening in a different, climate area, but here in the Driftless, I'm in the winter, I'm not gonna wet wade,
Yeah.
but
Nope.
in the summer, I will gladly. I love
Mhm.
wet wading in
Do
my
you?
camo Crocs. I'll do that all day long, but,
Yes.
you know, in the winter, I want a nice pair of waders with my nice boots, and I'm gonna catch way more fish than someone that's freezing in their shorts or
Exactly.
whatever they're doing,
Exactly.
yeah. No,
Yes. No,
I honestly don't think waders will go out of style, especially with all these, new brands that are coming out with high
fall off.
quality
Yeah.
waders. I think fishermen, like, there's always gonna have people with their own opinions. That's what
Sure.
it comes down to.
Yeah.
But, like, anglers like you and me, we're gonna be buying waders and
Yeah, we have to. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, exactly. We don't, and honestly, man, like and you talked about this too right from the beginning. Like, I'm not a huge fan of like wet wading too much in the driftless because you are dealing with some nasty stuff. You're dealing with parsnip. You're dealing with Lord knows what, and it's like
leeches.
if I can throw on my waders, sure, I'm gonna sweat. Sure, I'm gonna stink.
Yep,
Wood ticks in the spring, like
exactly.
you're covering your bases, and like some people are like, oh, whatever, you're being soft, but like no, the driftless is a whole different monster, and I want to
Yeah,
be covered
I agree.
sometimes. So, like,
Yep.
yeah, that part
Mosquitoes
is
too? Woo!
oh, yeah, not to mention that, like, oh gosh, I'm not looking
Mhm.
forward to that at all, man. It's
Right, I
like,
love this time of year. I love this time of year
I
with
do
no
too.
bugs.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I love bugs, but not
Mhm.
mosquitoes.
Yeah, yeah, dude, you should have seen it out there today. The midges and the little black stones were hopping off.
Were
I
they?
was like, dude, yeah, I got some videos I'll show you later. Like
That's
they were
awesome.
going nuts out there. I did get a few on the dry fly, but they were babies, but it's still fun. It's still
Hey,
fun.
that's what you're after out there is
Exactly.
mostly just clearing your mind and enjoying the beautiful scenery,
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I will say too, like in the summertime, if I don't want to throw my waders on, like let's say it's August and it's 90 degrees, I did go. I literally went on Amazon and searched like surfer bottoms, like what surfer dudes wear. Bought a
Oh,
pair
yeah?
of those, put those on, and then I put on like shorts, and
Mhm.
there you go. It's basically like a cheaper version of the backcountry skins, and I'm like, why not? It's something a little different, and I can breathe a little
Exactly.
bit more. But yeah,
Yep.
I'm a wader guy for sure.
Me too, 100%. I love waders.
I do too. And I would assume you do a little bit of like duck hunting and stuff yourself, or is it
Yep,
is it
I
mostly
do.
okay?
Yep,
Yeah.
and honestly, this time of year, I'm not even fishing much. I'm straight shed hunting right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna
Mhm.
ask you about that. It looks like you got some holy cow, dude, that's sick. Oof. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I bet you're
Yeah, I
finding
love
some
shed hunting.
decent ones down in that area.
Mhm. Yeah, there's some big bucks around, yep.
Dude, yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, I
All
you know
state land finds too.
oh really?
Yep.
Wow, that's actually even cooler. I don't ever really stumble upon them, and it's like I'm never looking for them, but
Right,
like you'd think
right.
like all that time spending out in the driftless in this time of the year, you'd think you'd kind of stumble upon them, but I have not. Stumbled upon a lot of turkeys today. That was fun. That was blast.
See some big beards or
Oh, absolute hammer. He was strutting and
nice.
everything. He was ready to
That's
go already. I was like, "Hey, buddy, you got to pump the brakes just a little
I
bit."
s I suppose that's coming up here pretty quick too, isn't it?
Yeah, that first season, that A season typically kicks off the end of April. Yeah,
Is
end of
it? End
April.
of
Yep.
April?
Beginning of April or mid-April,
Yeah,
mid-April. Yeah.
mid-April?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. A bunch of people are gonna be out doing that too. That's usually when the ticks are starting to crawl.
Yeah, the ticks are crawling, the trout are hungry, the
Yep.
gobblers are gobbling. It's the morel mushrooms. It's oh, dude, you can't
Oh
beat it.
gosh, don't get me
Can't beat it.
started. I love morels so
Dude, I've never
much.
had them, sadly. Never
What?
had them. Yeah, I'm kind of embarrassed to say that, but I've never had them.
You gotta try them.
Yes, I do. I do. Because I love mushrooms in general, so it's like, well, we need to go do this.
Right. I'm a huge
That's
forager. I love
Are
living
you?
off the land. Yeah.
Dude,
Mushrooms, ramps.
that's
You
really
know you
cool.
can actually eat the root of wild parsnip?
I have heard that. I did read about that. Yes, yes. Have
Tastes
you
like a
tried it?
carrot. Yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what I read. Dang, like
super
a
good.
carrot, huh?
I ate some of them raw, and I actually put some in a crock pot and kinda cooked them like cooked carrots with brown sugar and a little bit of water to steam them. Woo!
Dude,
So
that
good.
doesn't sound bad. We might have to,
But yeah,
if you want this spring, we might have to do a little catch and cook, little
let's do
video
it.
and do some foraging mixed in with it.
Yeah. But you
Yeah,
have to make sure you like, obviously, with every, foraging, your plant identification has to be 100%. It cannot be 99% because you could die.
you
There's,
could die.
like
Yes,
them wild carrots, they look like wild parsnip kind of, and you could die if you eat those, so you need to be very careful.
you need to be very. Is there like it pains me to even ask this, but in our modern world, I would assume, is there like an app where you can like take a picture and it'll identify
Yep.
something?
There's an
Okay.
app called Leafly, I believe it is. It's kind of I think it's, like, AI based where it kind of identifies it for you, which never believe AI 100% of the time either. You need to have, like, 4 different identification books with you and, like, maybe have a couple buddies and a
Hmm.
botanist or an ecologist or someone there that, can positively identify it. But, yeah, 100%.
Absolutely. That's very cool. So has repairing waders changed how like you go out and buy gear personally?
Um, you know Yeah, it has changed how I go out and buy gear because I don't go buy it as often, honestly, that's what it comes down to, but, yeah, honestly, I've been rocking with the same pair of waders for 3 years now, so I think that just having like, when you know that you can just fix them up, it's a game changer for you can spend more money on different lures and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, yeah, gear is it's very expensive. Whatever your hobby is, like gear is very, very expensive. If
Right.
you can find ways to save money anywhere, it's just going to help you enjoy it more because you feel like you're not putting your whole paycheck into something, which
Yeah.
can be, fly fishing and fishing in general is expensive and it can consume your budget quickly. So yeah, just having those options to, like you said, be a DIYer and just fix things that so many people would throw in. I'm guilty of that. Like, oh, these are toast, throwing them away. But like, yeah, looking back, it's like, oh boy,
And
probably could have saved a
honestly
lot of this.
you can go to some of them, like, I don't know, maybe at, like, thrift shops and stuff. I've never really seen waiters there, but I've seen waiters at, like, pawn shops and, like, some, like, sportsman stores that are used, and you could probably fix them up and have a nice pair of waiters too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I will say, that's funny you bring that up. I went to, sure you're familiar, like Thornborough's up in Blaine. I went there last year. They had a gear swap, and I was like, oh, this is kind of cool.
Exactly,
Went
yep,
in there and I bought a pair of or not waders, bought a pair of wading boots for
nice.
$25. Not going to say the brand because not a huge fan of the brand, but I bought them because they were $25. And they are right now my best pair of wading boots.
There you go,
Yeah,
exactly.
and, like, yeah, they have a little leak, not even a leak, I wouldn't even call it a leak, but they get a little damp feeling sometimes, but yeah,
Okay,
25 bucks, I was like, I've spent an insane amount. Honestly, wading boots are probably my, like, arch nemesis in the fly fishing, like,
right.
everything. Like, waders, I've had pretty good luck with, but me and wading boots, just, like, we clash heads, man. I've never, like, landed on a brand where it's like, "Here we go, like, this is gonna work." Like, I've gone through way too many, so, yeah.
Mhm,
But
yep.
I might have to look into some. I know, like, Corkers, a lot of people kinda swear by those, so might be looking into those, coming up for the spring, we'll see.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I'm all about saving money and, repairing what needs to be fixed and doing that. So when you can save a little money and get a used pair of boots, they're just gonna be walking through the silt anyway. So
Exactly. They don't need to look cool. They don't need to look fancy.
right,
Like, just get me. I ended up buying a fly rod there too, because I was like, I mean, I like to collect. Like, I just think fly rods are really cool. Like, I
they're
want to have
sweet.
just a wall one day of like just fly rods. So I bought one for like $20. I was like, I use it. Like, it's not great, but it catches fish, and I think it's cool. So I was like, sure, why not?
I want to get like a 6 range, like
hmm
2 weight, 3 weight, really small rod I can just like play
Yeah,
around with.
just a little whippersnapper. Yeah.
Yeah, I want one of them. That's probably what I'm gonna look for coming up here. Get one
Nice.
of them.
I agree.
Hmm.
I agree. I do like that for it makes sense for the driftless, obviously, just being a
Right.
little smaller and yeah, just dude, a little two-weight would be really fun. That's for sure. So has there ever been someone who, reached out to you and sent you some waders and, asked for the repairs and you just looked at them and it's like, I can't do anything with this. Has that happened or is it just kind of like,
Yeah.
let me see what I can do?
Yeah, so I've had a couple pairs like that. They're like, I tried to fix it, and I'm like, you know what? I'll take a look at them. No promises, but I'll take a look at them. And I turn them inside out, and the amount of like different kinds of sealant and this and that that's going on in there, I'm like, I'm sorry, man, but you're just gonna have to get some new waders. These things are actually shot. Like you can just feel like it's like almost dry rot too. It's like that was with a pair of neoprene waders, and I was like, man, you got to go get some new waders. I'm sorry, but yeah, I have seen that a couple times now, and it always sucks. But at the end of the day, they're happy to just be done with the problem too. So,
Yeah, peace of mind,
mhm.
right? Like they
Right.
tried their best. They
Yep.
went to someone who,
Yep.
could potentially fix them. And then, yeah, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I'm gonna get rid of these, and I did everything I possibly could to save
Yep.
them, and I
Yep.
can't. Yeah, I agree.
Exactly. And I didn't charge them at all either because
Yeah,
obviously, but
yeah. No,
mhm.
that makes perfect sense. And I didn't even ask you. You just started this last year, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
awesome. Awesome. So you got a whole another year going under your belt, just getting started, right?
Exactly. Yes, sir.
That's
Yeah,
awesome,
just
man.
yeah, I made that one, I made a Instagram reel and it kinda blew up actually, and I gained like
I seen
1,000
that.
followers in one day. I'm like, "Holy smokes, everyone's, hey, I got a pair of waders, 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 waders. Where you at? Where you at?" So I ended up actually opening up a PO box because I didn't want
Yeah.
my home address out online for everyone across the nation. I've been getting orders from Oklahoma, North Carolina, Seattle. It's like,
Have
"Holy
you
smoke."
really, bro? Jeez.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty
That's
sweet.
sweet. That's awesome. That's smart to get that PO box. I 100% agree. It's like, you just never know. So yeah, let's get that PO box. That's cool, man. Do you have any you ever had an overseas yet? Anyone
I
ever
haven't
reached
had
out?
an overseas, and I feel like shipping might be really expensive from overseas.
Yeah.
I know from, Oklahoma, it was $39 for it to come here and back, so, like, that's not too bad.
No,
And I
I
mean,
thought
it
that'd
was
be
a
way worse.
$500 pair of waders that I fixed, so, like, saved him some money there, you know?
Yeah, you did. Absolutely. Dang, I thought there'd be more than that to ship to Oklahoma. That's not bad at all. There and
No.
back, huh?
Yep.
Dang, that's not bad at all. So, first year under your belt, you're coming into to year two. Where do you see this company in 5 years? What's the perfect vision for you?
I want Driftless Wader Repair to be a place where, people come when their gear fails and somewhere that they can trust to, not rip them off. An honest opinion. I'm a man of the river. I fish, I hunt, I do all of it, and I'm gonna be honest. If a pair of waders isn't gonna work, I'm not gonna rip them off and be like, hey, I've tried to fix it. Here's that. I'm not gonna steal any money or do anything like that. I'm all about fixing it, and I want to be a trustworthy brand that I would like to get a few partnerships with some. I saw
Yeah,
you talk to Money Creek Outfitters.
yeah,
Hey, maybe I'll fix some of their gear
dude.
they have there. Like
Yeah,
I've been talking to Lance down at Root River Rod. Fix a couple of his pairs of waders, scratch each other's backs. Who knows?
exactly, dude.
Like I.
And
Mhm.
yeah, you hit it on the head with the driftless area, man. It is such a supportive community. Like,
It really
it's
is.
it's hard to like bring something in, whether that's, starting a YouTube channel, starting a business like you, like it's intimidating and you'd never know how you're gonna like be received. And
Right.
dude, everyone I've met is phenomenal, super supportive, just wants to help each other. Like,
I
yeah, both those
agree.
guys you mentioned, like stellar places, stellar people, just good human beings, and it's like
honestly,
this is so
and
cool.
so knowledgeable about like everyone has a different panel of information that they specialize in. You know, like you go and talk to Lance, he knows everything about different hatches and all of it. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, he's
Mhm.
dialed in. Yeah, it's like you said, everyone's just got their own little niche, and like you don't know that, like being like the Driftless is a place, there's people there, there's a lot of fishing
Yep,
and wildlife, but you don't realize how like tight knit and like cool of a community it is, and like that's what's been so fun about
I
this
agree.
podcast. I'm just like I've really narrowed it into like focusing it on the Driftless area, and I've just the people I meet in the cool stories and the cool business. It's like wow, this is such a cool area.
Right.
It's just yeah,
Honest
I
and
love
going back to your question, like, in 5 years, and I mean, even in the next, like, 2, 3, I want people to when they rip their waders, instead of thinking about, "Oh my gosh, I gotta go to Fleet Farm and get a new pair of waders," I want them to be thinking about fixing their waders right away and how, you know, we gotta hone in on using different materials all the time and just start saving money and making our gear last longer than it has been, you know?
agreed. I agreed. Would you ever? Probably a tough question, but would you ever consider like making your own in the future if it ever got to that, like your own
I
wader
would love
brand?
to.
Huh?
I would love to do that, and I also would love to, like, maybe make a little kit for fixing
Mm,
waders or, like, a guide on how to fix waders and sell, like, little, like, $10 kits of,
yeah,
"Here, fix your own waders," instead of,
dude,
sending them here. Cheaper,
dude,
quicker, faster, more sustainable again. There we
yeah.
go.
That's a phenomenal
So
idea. Absolutely. Yeah, like you said, just or like yeah, those little how-to guides you could do them in different way. You could post them on socials. You
exactly,
could sell it in like a little guidebook. Like yeah, it's endless possibilities when it comes down to it. And
100%.
yeah, and people are gonna take it, 'cause especially if it, I'm a huge believer in like if something works, like it works, and people will naturally flock to stuff that they trust, that they know
Yep.
works, and maybe at the end of the day, like a person like me, I wouldn't even know where to start besides the basic stuff, like you get your little kit that comes with your
Right.
waders. Sure, I'm
Yeah,
gonna do
yeah.
that, but like outside of that, I'm gonna like these are toast, and
Yeah,
now it's like
exactly. That's
you
what a
got
lot of
got
people think,
options.
honestly. It's actually eye-opening how many people have ripped waders right now. It's crazy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if someone's on the fence about repairing versus replacing, what would be the first thing you would tell?
If the waders can be fixed, it's almost every time makes more sense to repair them. It's cheaper, it's faster, it keeps good gear in use. Replacement should be the last option, I think. And like, it's more about just, like, getting my name out there so I can advocate for that mindset because so many people don't know about how to just fix their waders instead of replace, and I feel bad because it's a lot of money, and, like, sometimes parents give you your waders for Christmas, and now your
Yeah.
Christmas present's broke, and they're sad, so it's like, I don't want people to be sad.
No, I don't want this kid's Christmas to suck. Like,
Right,
you know,
right,
that's funny, man. That's a great call out.
yeah,
How much? So
but
how
no,
much?
what's that?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna answer your question,
Yeah,
sorry. I got
this is a
excited.
really like bizarre question, but how much gear do you think like ends up in like a landfill when it comes to like waders and boots and just stuff like that?
Honestly, I think we would both vomit if we knew
Yeah,
because I
agreed.
think a surprising amount and, like, just, like, with, some of the, like, stories I've heard about, like, people trying to send their waiters in for like the um warranty repairs, like, and then they don't get fixed. I'm sure almost 50% of those people throw their waiters away when that
Mhm.
happens. So
Yeah,
like it's a lot of money, lot of materials that end up in landfills. If I had to guess, that's
yeah.
total speculation, but I think it's a valid guess.
I agree. I
Hmm.
agree. That's a good point you bring up about the warranty too, because a lot of these bigger brands they do offer a warranty and they do try to fix them, but a lot of times it doesn't work. So it's like
Yeah. I've had
okay,
countless people, contact me saying that they've
hmm
sent them in for warranty, and they took 4 months, and they sent back without getting fixed, and that's the sour feeling, it has to be.
oh my gosh, I I'm 98% sure I can guess the brand, and I'm not gonna say it either. But I had a buddy with the same experience, and he was livid. And yeah, you know what he did after? He threw them away because he was so mad at the
Exactly.
company. He was so
And I'm
mad at
sure,
the
yep.
experience. And I was like, hey, hold on, I got a buddy coming on my podcast. He's like, too late, man. I threw him away. I was like, all right.
Dang it.
Yeah.
I'm sure they had years left in them.
Yeah, he barely used them, man. I think it was his third time out in barbed wire fence, and yeah,
No.
they were they were cooked according to the
Yeah.
company, and
Good.
he was very, very upset. I mean, they were very expensive waders, so like I don't blame him. And yeah, he's like, I got him back and threw him away. I was like, shucks, you should have told me, man.
Exactly. Yeah. It's, a lot of people, I don't know, it's a tough subject because, you got to work 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day, and then you spend your money on that when it's like, well, I should have just been wet wading. Just
Yeah,
kidding.
should have just been in my Crocs this whole time.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
So fixing waders obviously a very important gear when it comes to fly fishing. Would you ever see yourself getting into like fixing other gear in the fly fishing world?
So I've thought about that. Right now it's Driftless Wader Repair, but I wouldn't mind expanding it to like, Driftless Outdoor Gear Repair or something like that someday. Cause like I'm sure there's all kinds of different stuff that could be replaced. Tents, hammocks, boots, gloves, backpacks, all of it. And, I'm a pretty handy man when it comes to that kind of stuff. So I think even like fishing rods, like you can
Yeah.
put new tips on your fishing rod. People don't even know that, and they throw their rod away, snap it over their knee. It's like I would have tried to fix it. I
Oh yeah,
think.
yeah. Throw some new tip top on there and maybe some
Mhm.
new guides, and you got a new fly rod. You're ready to rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it. I think that's very cool to just have the knack to want to fix things too. Like a lot of people don't have that, so it's really cool that you just have that feeling of always like, wait a second, I could maybe fix that, and that's
Right.
a good
Right.
quality to have.
And just like everything else, like there's money in the business too. So it's like there's also that. I don't mind doing it, and if I can make a little money doing something I like, why wouldn't I do it?
That's most of it right there. As long as you're enjoying whatever it is you're doing, and yeah, it'd be foolish not to try to make some money because why not, right? So it's like
100%.
get two things at once. That's
Exactly.
awesome.
Yeah.
So one more question for you, man. How can people reach out to you? Where can they find you if they need to give some waiters to you? What's the best way for them to do that?
So they can call, text, email, or they can follow me on Instagram or Facebook is what I got right now. And if you want me to list them things out, I can do that for you.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, I'll put them in the link in the description on the video and make sure all that's linked up. But yeah, no, that's awesome. It sounds like you're very easy to access, which is also very important in our world. People
Yeah.
are very keen to, I'm not gonna say instant gratis. I can't say that word right now.
Yeah.
Instant reactions, but it's very nice to have someone that's responsive, you that you can trust,
hmm
that's gonna take care of your gear. So that's
Exactly. Yeah. No, I try to respond to everyone pretty quick, and I got 5 pairs of waders right now. I'm working on that are out of the box, getting repaired. So we're booming right now. So
nice.
you need your waders repaired, send them on in, and I'll get you back on the water.
There you go. Hey, you know what? Bring up a good point. Is there like have you noticed like a busy season for you yet? Is it kind of like right before spring?
So, right, like I honestly was pretty slow up till like probably a month and a half ago. It really started picking up, and I think everyone is wanting to get out on the water, and they probably knew they had rips or tears from last season, so they're kind of just getting all dialed in. So I think, yeah, right now is probably a busy season, and I think after like that first thaw and rush, there'll probably be a bunch of waders that rip, and there'll probably be another little boom. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like maybe like June when the green really starts to pick up and everything grows. I feel like that's when
And
a
the barbed
lot of
wire is
people
hidden.
yeah, that's when a lot of people start to get those rips, and I'm sure you'll pick up during that time of the year too.
100%, yep.
Do you find that it sometimes takes you away from the water, away from fishing, or have you been able to find good balance?
So I've been, you know, I work full time, so I work and then I come home, and I've usually like been dedicating probably like 2 nights a week, and I can get everyone squared away because probably fix a pair of waders in 30 minutes and have them back out ready to ship and bring them to the post office. So right now I have 5 pairs, so I could probably do that in an evening and have them back out and just wait for the next load to come into the post office. So I don't spend too much time doing it, but, like, if someone sends them in, I'm gonna get them fixed. So it's, I mean, obviously every pair is different and there could be a bigger issue and more time consuming issue, but yeah, I usually probably spend 2 nights a week doing that, and now that I have a pup, it's gonna be a little bit more of a juggle, but we'll get her fixed up.
You'll get her fixed up, man. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so jealous you got a little pup. That's awesome, man. It's so much fun to watch them grow and learn and just they're such a joy. Are you a bird hunter yourself too, or?
I recently got into pheasant hunting. I'm not
Mhm.
avid about it at all,
Yeah.
but my my little pup Drift is gonna be a
Drift.
shed hunter.
I was
Yep.
just gonna say, I'm sure it's gonna be a shed hunter.
Yep. Yep.
Dude, Drift? Oof, you got it all dialed up. That's unreal.
Isn't that a sick name?
That is a sick name. How do you, little off topic, but like, how do you know, I train my dog for grouse hunting. That's like her thing. How do you start at that young age to train them to, want to look for sheds? Is it simply just getting scent and getting it in their mouth?
So labs, obviously they're really good retrievers, and I've just been first, I mean, he's 9 weeks old, so he's
Yeah.
really small, and I know I've been reading a bunch, and it all starts with obedience, obviously, and
Mhm.
then you slowly gotta work, start making them work their nose, like, if that's, like, taking a handful of, food and throwing it in the grass, so they have to look
Mhm.
for it and sniff it, and then you can slowly implement the sheds. I have a couple, I don't know if you can see them, really
Absolutely.
small sheds right there
Yep.
that I let him fetch and retrieve for me, and they're fresh too from this year, so they still have that really good scent on them. And tonight, when I was training right before we got on, I just had a couple of them hidden some leaves out in my yard, and I was just kinda having him walk around, and he was sniffing them right out. So, I mean, keep
Uh,
doing that and get him good at retrieving, I'm sure he'll be a shed
yeah.
master at some point.
Dude, that's awesome. That makes me miss my training days. Oh, it's so fun when they're so little and they're just flopping
Right.
around out there. It's like,
Just so cute.
how? How can you do this? And they grow up to just be great, great dogs. Oh, gets me emotional sometimes, man. Jeez.
What's
I
yours
love
names?
that. Her name is Jackie. You can maybe see her
Jackie?
on the wall back there,
Oh,
a
yep.
picture of her. Yeah, she's a little black lab. She's not even over 50 pounds, man. She just never
Really?
really, yeah, she never really
Wow.
got going. And like honestly, I'm fine with it because like she can get into some crazy brush and some just
I
nasty
suppose.
stuff. And it works. And like yeah, I mean, she's great. We got very, very, very lucky with her. I don't think we'll
Awesome.
ever get another dog like her, but you
Mhm.
never know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, man, she's a good time. So awesome, man. This was a great conversation. Anything any closing thoughts or any other shout outs you want to take?
I just want to give a shout out to Driftless region. I couldn't be more honored to live down here and be conserving and protecting. And I my life revolves around trout streams and fishing and hunting. And I love making new connections, like with guys like you and whoever else is open to collaborating and working together. So, I mean, yeah, it was an honor to be on here, and I appreciate it, and look forward to
Yes.
maybe going fishing sometime.
Dude, we 100% will. We should
Let's do
absolutely
it.
get something on the books. Awesome,
Yep.
Gavin. I do want to thank you for taking the time to come on too. I know life can get busy as you have had some busy stuff in your life, and
Yep.
thank you for coming on. It's been a blast, man.